Okay, so let's take back our project. Remember that every time that we work on this, we are going to try to elaborate this chassis. This is the chassis that you guys are going to do for your skill drive robot. Okay, so we have the one that we worked on last class. We're going to click on the home button. Remember to look at your design. Remember that your design is here. If you need to look um, if you need to look your username and password in order to start Tinkercad, I recommend that you look the sheet of paper that was given to you last class. Okay, so all of us are here. We want to start working and creating the chassis. So first of all, let's take away this hole. You can just double click on it and select the solid that you guys created. Just delete it so we have the sheet of plastic or the one that you guys were making before. Okay, so basically we have this. Quick reminder, we can change this to a solid and take off like the transparent so we can see it as a fuel, like a pure solid layer. Remember this is 3 millimeters, okay? And I'm going to show you how to measure, okay? So click on the top view, and if you click on the top view, you're going to have a ruler on the top right, and this ruler is going to allow us to make some measurements. So we can have it this way, we can have it to the left, bottom, or right. So we're going to keep it here so we know exactly what are the measurements of this object. So I clicked right on the corner of the object, and I'm going to click the object, and I can really quickly I can find the width and the length of my design. In this case, it's 100 millimeters and 117 millimeters, 100 millimeters wide and 117 millimeters long, okay? And I can also set up, like, if I want the midpoints, it will show me the midpoint of this object, okay? So I'm going to go and move to the one that I already created, and I will kind of like do also the ruler, and I will check what are some dimensions of this object. As you can see, it's 100 by 117, and the midpoint of this is kind of like 50. So this is the center, and here I'm going to find out what is the radius of this object, okay? So I'm going to just erase this, and I'm going to move my ruler right here, and then I'm also going to select, and what I can see is that from the center point, it's 58.5, and I also have some other things that some other information that I can get. In this case, if I click on this button, I can see that it's 17 millimeters from the side, where I can see these holes that I'm going to create. I can see also that, let's see, if I click again, I can see that from the center to the hole, it's 33, okay? And then I can modify it again and see some different information about it, okay? So, let's see if I have others that I can choose. Let me see if I can click right here, and then I can see some other measurements. Okay, so after measuring, making sure what is this circumference, it is 70 millimeters of diameter. So we're going to create that same structure right here, right in the middle. Okay, so let's kind of like, we're going to draw this right here. I mean, you just have to like make sure, remember that you can define where to put it. Okay, we're going to create the length and the width of this cylinder. Okay, remember that the width and the length and the width, and then just in order to make it right in the middle, you can always and I showed you this last class, you can align the objects. Here, the most important thing is that you align, select the two objects with the shift button pressed, or that you press shift click on the other one, and when you have the two objects selected, you can align. Okay? Now, alignment can be right in the center. That's the most important thing. And then we are going to align this right here. That way we can cut out this piece that you see right here. Okay? So let's cut it. And remember that we can just select the two objects with the shift button pressed and then click on group. When you click on group, you're going to see that there is a nicely done hole. Okay? Got it? Then you want to make sure that your design is complete. Okay, so we are going to open the hole again. I'm just going to pull this a little bit in right there. And then, as I said, we select, we align right in the middle, and then we make the hole by selecting both of them and then just clicking on group. Okay, so after you have the hole, we are going to add some motors. And some motors can be found where you see in your library. There is one that we can find called, there's hardware, there's electronics. If we look for electronics, we can see all the shapes. And we're gonna scroll down until we find the motor that we need. Here are some motors, so we're very close. Hopefully we can find that special motor that is the same one that we use in every project. So we have a servo motor over here. Let's see if we can find the other motors. There we go. So this is the one that has a yellow gearbox, okay? And I'm gonna rotate it in a way that I can put it 90 degrees, and then I'm gonna put it right here. As a matter of fact, I like to move objects from like the different planes. So here I'm gonna put this one over here, okay? So I have this motor. As you can see, this motor has to be rotated again, so it's flat, 90 degrees, and then we have to pull it to the edge, okay? So it will be on this edge right there. And check this out. If we want to create a mirror, we select the object. We're gonna mirror this, okay? And here we can actually, turn it around. We're gonna mirror. So after placing the motor, we're just gonna click on it and we're gonna duplicate this motor, right? Then we're gonna mirror this motor, click on this arrow, and then I'm gonna move it all the way to the other end, okay? That way I have my chassis, okay? Now you guys next class are gonna start building this chassis with the holes, and I'll show you how to create the holes using the sketch library, okay? You're gonna go and you're gonna create a new sketch. Just so you know, since last class we're gonna finally complete the sketch with all the points. Creating a sketch is very easy. It allows you to create any drawing, any lines, complete lines with a simple sketch. And when you finish the sketch, you can actually create an object with it, okay? This is how we're gonna do our holes. We're gonna create holes. Okay, guys?